While you are watching out for your train, who is watching out for you? Turns out in many cases, it could be no one. Good evening, everyone. I'm Scott McGee.
And I'm Rachel Spots. Tonight, the results of a 5-month-long investigation into your daily commute.
Yeah, we found a potentially glaring safety issue you need to know about, and it already has top lawmakers taking some action. We turn to Tara for the Surveillance Secret.
Mention the tidy suburbia that is Westchester, and many people think of wealthy country clubs, wide picket fences, and well-paid professionals who rarely think twice about their safety as they commute to Manhattan each day via one of the county's 44 Metro North train stations.
Do you feel safe when you travel in the MTA?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I feel pretty safe. Security's always everywhere.
But a Turn to Tara investigation reveals security isn't everywhere. Far from it. We discovered nearly 75% of Westchester's train stations are lacking a very basic safety feature, a security camera.
That's unbelievable. That's a high percentage.
Raising serious questions as to who is watching the 170,000 daily riders as they board and exit their trains. And in the case of one Yonkers family, that's left them unable to find the closure they so desperately need.
He was an altar server, he was a Cub Scout, he was a Boy Scout, he was captain of his lacrosse team, captain of the football team, he was a lifeguard.
The youngest grand champion in equestrian in Westchester County.
But all that potential for the son of Janai and Linwood Wallace came to an abrupt end 5 years ago this week. Matthew Wallace's life was snuffed out on the tracks at the Wakefield train station a few weeks shy of his 18th birthday. But
we don't know how Matthew got onto the tracks.
Right. That's the mystery.
All they know is the medical examiner ruled Matthew's death accidental, not a suicide, as first suggested to them by MTA police, raising the question, did he fall or was he pushed? His parents believe had this station been equipped with a camera, they would likely have those answers by now.
You take care of your child and you know where they are and what they're doing, and you try to stay on top of them. To not know what their last hours were, to not know how they died, is horrible, and no parent should go through that. And the MTA should have enough compassion to put one stinking camera at a station so no other parent ever has to go through that.
And that is exactly what prompted our investigation at the start of the summer. We simply asked the MTA for a list of stations equipped with cameras and the criteria used to select their locations. They refused both requests, citing security concerns. And they gave us the same explanation after denying a series of our Freedom of Information requests. So our legal team filed an appeal on the basis that the cameras are already visible to the naked eye and therefore would and could not reveal any critical security protocols. Even that appeal was denied, much to the surprise of top Westchester lawmakers.
When asked by the press or anybody, we should be able to disclose it transparently. That's information the public ought to know.
They frankly don't seem to have a very thoughtful or strategic idea of where to place cameras on stations. It seems to be haphazard.
Senator Shelley Mayer represents the district where Matthew died.
Every parent that sends a kid down those steps at that station has reason to be concerned until we have a camera there.
But we now know there are dozens of other stations also lacking cameras. How do we know? Because we drove out to each Westchester stop and spotted cameras at only 10 of the 44 stations. There were also another 2 stops with cameras only in ticketing areas. We then submitted dozens of police record requests to find out how many times departments have responded to each location. We used those results to create this database, comparing locations, crime, and median income, and here's what we found. One of the wealthiest and lowest crime areas in the county, Scarsdale, has a camera.
Well, of course, it's Scarsdale.
While the stations in the 6 lowest income areas do not.
I don't think that's fair. I really don't.
We also found out the stop with the largest number of police responses,
the Marinette,
you guessed it, has no cameras as well.
Yeah, every other place got cameras. My whole building got cameras, so why not? This is 2018.
Something Assemblywoman Amy Paulin, who lives in Scarsdale, agrees with.
They should be everywhere so that there's no question. You don't want to alert
those who might be thinking of committing a crime to going to the stations where they aren't.
Poland is chair of the state committee that has oversight over the MTA and says after learning about the shortage of cameras at Westchester's train stations, she's going to take action.
And we're about to embark on a capital plan for the MTA, a new one, starting in 2019. I'm going to make sure it's part of the plan.
Unfortunately, that won't help the Wallace family get the answers they need.
It's unbelievable.
It's
Even
despicable.
Almost 5 years later.
But installing cameras now could prevent other families like them from enduring the same painful questions. Tara Rosenberg, News 12.
Something to think about, certainly. Now, to find out which local train stations do have cameras, which ones don't, just head over to news12.com, click on the Turn to Tara tab.